Hey, this is Michael from Clutter Stuff, and I'm getting ready to start a new series where I go through the novels of the old Star Wars expanded universe, which is now called Star Wars Legends. But I wanted to start it off by talking about the novelizations of the films. I don't have The Force Awakens yet, but I do have the other six movies. You only see five here. That's because Attack the Clones is hiding right now. But I want to start, and then at the end of this video, I am going to also talk about a giveaway. So the first one, of course, is by George Lucas, Star Wars: From the Adventures of Luke Skywalker. And this novelization, I got this at a used bookstore. This is the Ballantine Books, Del Rey, from 1976, copyright 1976, by the Star Wars Corporation. This is the seventh printing of the first edition from June 1977. The second, for Empire Strikes Back, is this is again a Del Rey, published by Ballantine. This is the first edition paperback, published in May 1980. And this one, of course, was copyright by Lucasfilm Limited, which by that time, had taken over. By that time, it was no longer the Star Wars Corporation, it was Lucasfilm. And the same thing goes for Return of the Jedi and all of these subsequent movies. They were done by Lucasfilm. This again, Return of the Jedi, is Del Rey book, copyright 1983. This is actually the 14th printing of the first paperback edition. And the funny thing about this one is that this was published in June 1983. The first edition was also published in June 1983. So they went through 14 editions just within that first month. And one thing I do want to point out here, and this is something that I remember from when I was a child, you'll notice the cover page here. It says Star Wars: Return of the Jedi. And same thing goes for here, Star Wars: Return of the Jedi. Notice it does not say Episode 6. These were not originally given these episode numbers. And you can see here, same thing goes with Empire Strikes Back, on both the cover page and the movie kind of info page. It says Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, but no, it doesn't say Episode 5. And in fact, nowhere on here does it say Episode 5. And then even with Star Wars, not only does it not say Episode 4, it does not say A New Hope. It says Star Wars. And then this was actually the title that we knew it as back in the day, Star Wars, and it says From the Adventures of Luke Skywalker. You'll notice no Episode 4, no A New Hope. And that's something a lot of people, I don't think, realize about Star Wars, is that it did kind of grow over time. So, let me leave those up. So for the prequels, I actually do have two hardcover copies. I have Episode 1. I actually got this used. This is a former library copy that I got used. You can see here on the corner, there's the remainder of the library sticker. But this is the first edition, published in 1999 by Del Rey Books. And this, you can see there, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. The episode numbers, of course, were, at this point, added in. The other thing, actually, I do want to point out, you'll notice that the author of this is Terry Brooks. Okay, he was the one who wrote them. For Star Wars, the author, George Lucas, was actually credited as the author. Let me see if you can see that. A novel by George Lucas. For Empire Strikes Back, the author was Donald F. Glut, based on a story by George Lucas. And for Return of the Jedi, it was James Caan, screenplay by Lawrence Kasdan and George Lucas, story by George Lucas. So let me get that without a glare. But for episode 1, it does say based on the screenplay and story by George Lucas, but the author is Terry Brooks. For episode 2, I got the paperback version for episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Again, it has the episode number, it says Attack of the Clones. And at this point, again, story by George Lucas, screenplay by George Lucas and Jonathan Hales. And let's see if it has it. No, it doesn't have it in here. This was copyright 2002 by Del Rey. And it also contains an excerpt from another one of the novels, Shatterpoint by Matthew Stover. And finally, let's see if I can get this without everything falling down all day. We have Revenge of the Sith. I like this one. This is again in first edition. You can see it. The cover is real shiny. But again, it says episode 3, Matthew Stover, based on a story and screenplay by George Lucas, published in 2005. So the interesting thing, the reason I wanted to talk about these novelizations is that all of them, all 6 of them, contain a little bit of information that's not actually in the movie, and a little bit more descriptions of things, and sometimes a little bit of backstory that just simply was not either noticeable or was cut out of the final film. So it's definitely, if you're a fan of Star Wars, it's definitely worth reading the novelizations of the movies. The other thing that I point out is that none of the bad acting is present in any of the prequels. So, and the just the weirdness of the prequels. So that actually brings me to the next part. I also have, and I'm going to move these out of the way for the time being, but I also have some comic book adaptations, and I'm going to give these away. Whether you like the prequels or not, and I know that many people do not like them. Whether you like the prequels or not, they are canon. They are part of the Star Wars universe, and the bottom line is that we can't do anything about it. So I'd like to do a giveaway, and to enter the giveaway, make a video. And the question what I would like you to talk about in the video is, if you could change just one thing in any of the 3 prequels in order to make it, or all 3 of them, in order to make it a good movie or a better movie, if you happen to like them and think that they're good movies, what would that change be? And it can be anything from a plot point, it could be casting decisions, it could be anything. You can get as detailed as you like. I would like it to be somewhat specific, but it doesn't have to be super specific. But I'd like to get creative. How would you make these movies better? And what you'll win is I've got there are actually variant covers for Star Wars Episode 1. So I've got number 1 variant, both the original, the main cover and the variant. I've got number 2 main cover and the variant. Number 3, both covers, which is pretty cool. Some of these are really cool. And number 4, both covers. For Star Wars Attack of the Clones, somehow I managed to not get number 1. I don't know how that happened, but I missed number 1, so I've got number 2, I've got number 3, and again, I also missed number 4. But for Revenge of the Sith, I have all 4 of them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have the kind of thicker graphic novel version of the adaptation, which is, I think, a little bit different. But these were all published by Dark Horse, and the winner will be selected from those with valid entries. And I haven't decided yet. It'll either be random, or it will be based on which idea I like the best. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Probably random. But if there's one idea that just blows me away, I might just award the winner. Award them the prize. I don't know. We'll see. But go ahead and make a video, leave comments. Please like and subscribe. As I mentioned, this is just the first video. I'm going to be talking about all of the other expanded universe books. And I loved the books. And I hope you enjoy the series. All right, thanks a lot, and see you next time.